I had a question about positive and negative angles, and here's our unit circle that we've made in previous classes. We're going to try to make the connection between a positive angle and a negative angle. So just to remind you that when we're trying to find out the basic trigonometric ratios of sine theta, cosine theta, and tangent theta, we really must find our location on the unit circle, and we have to say, well, I'm going to take 225 degrees here. The sine of 225 degrees is negative 1 over root 2. I get that from the y value. So the sine of negative 135 is, well, I guess I really need, number one, to know where 135 is, and then I simply take the y value of that point. So let's get on with trying to make the connection between positive and negative angles. So let me just start off by reviewing a positive 30 degrees. Positive 30 degrees, we start from the positive x-axis and we simply move 30 degrees counterclockwise. So there's that position of 30 degrees. From these points we can get sine and cosine from your coordinates. So what is negative? A negative angle is simply an angle that is measured clockwise. So this is 30 degrees. So let's pick up the pace. Here's 45 degrees. Negative 45 degrees would be in this position. Notice how we're staying in the same related angle family. 60 degrees is up there. Negative 60 degrees would be, I have to measure 60 degrees clockwise. It's right here. 90 degrees is here. Negative 90, moving in the opposite direction, we're here. So some people say that negative 90 is the same angle as 270, and in fact that's not the case. They are just in the same position. One moves clockwise, the other one moves counterclockwise, but they end up in the same position. They are called coterminal. All coterminal angles have the same sine, cosine, and tangent ratios. So that's going to help us out a bit. Still not really getting to my question. So maybe I'm going to go on to 120. So 120 is positive 120 is all the way over there. So it's 30 degrees past 90. So I'm going to go negative 120 is right in this position. I'm hoping that you're starting to see the pattern. In essence, actually, hold on. Press pause. You try to see the pattern. Good. I'm hoping that you're coming back after pressing pause. If we are trying to locate a negative angle, a lot of you probably caught on to the fact that it is symmetric with its positive angle. So for instance, here's 120. Negative 120 is in this position. So the sine of negative 120 is negative root 3 over 2. So the connection between these two, very simply, is you locate the positive angle, and if you reflect that positive angle about the x-axis, the position, you'll end up in the angle that is negative. So where's negative 150? Great question. Well, negative 150, well, there's 150 right here. Negative 150 is in this position. So the sine of negative 150 is negative half. Cosine of negative 150 is equal to negative root 3 over 2. I hope this explains the unit circle and negative angles. We don't say if they're in the same place, like for instance negative 30 and negative 3, negative 30 and 330 are in the same place. They're not the same angle. They are what we call coterminal. We'll see much more of this in next year's lessons.